You know what I have here in my notebook here is my awards from last year's Sturgis.
Oh.
How do they shape up versus this year?
I'm just trying to find your award from last year. Scott, doesn't look like you got an award last year. And Warren, you need to try harder.
Head office.
Most on vacation goes to Warren.
Wait, is this going to be all positive? Is it all positivity?
No. Is it? No, who wants that shit?
You know, when you're in a position like I am, and you have a cool job, how can people talk shit when you're fucking having a good time and working?
No one's talking shit. We're busting your balls. There's a big difference.
We still get the
You'll
most.
never know.
I get it all the time. Like, oh,
you'll never know
working,
about
right? Oh, must be nice. Fuck you.
Rough leader.
Wait, here's another. This is off topic, but I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and they make a point of saying that like they cannot say profanity. They can't because if you use profanity, that you're a different kind of.
Is this true?
We can clean up our act.
You become a different kind. You get relegated to adult content only, which is not reachable to like 75% of their audience.
Let's clean it up.
Can you say it and beep it?
You can bleep it.
Can we beep it? Is that a hassle to bleep it?
I think it's better to just
Try to self-censor.
yeah.
Can you make mine fart noises?
I'll work on that. There's an AI for everything.
Well, let's begin. Yes, officially. This is our 51st.
Wait, was that a nice way, Scott? Was that a nice way of you trying to assert yourself?
No, I swear all the time. But I'm noticing because I feel like anecdotally, right? We talk to people like, I love your podcast. I listen to you guys all the time. But then we have like 100 followers. So like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So maybe that's a thing. And then we didn't realize. Rookie move, right? Wait, can we edit in like a Ted Nugent Stranglehold intro right now? Because we just got back from Sturgis. And like, imagine that.
You get 9 seconds.
Any song, 9 seconds?
9 seconds. We're allowed to use 9 seconds.
I think you can do that with
Rad.
Stranglehold.
Yeah. Does that set the mood?
Yeah, I think Stranglehold is a
Sturgis?
good Sturgis brand.
Mm-hmm.
At worst, I can just like cut it and then like say, go YouTube it quick. Use your imagination.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like Ted Nugent music. I just read an article about the guy, and the theme of the article was, damn you, Ted Nugent, for ruining my appreciation for your music because of who you are. But I enjoy Stranglehold.
I do too. Mm-hmm. Grew up on that shit.
It's hard not to.
Grew up on that stuff.
He's got a lot of other deep cuts where he's wearing like the underwear with the tail, the sex man. What's his whole bit?
It just melts faces from 100 paces.
Oh, yeah. He's another Detroit madman.
That's right.
It's true. Wow, let's get Ted Nugent on here.
Ted, where you at?
We are starting a podcast here. This is official. This is our 51st podcast. 48th, 51st.
It's in there somewhere.
And we don't have a guest today. And I really appreciate that, not having a guest, because whenever I do like to see, because I don't see you guys much, believe it or not, when we do the Where's Your Head At part of the podcast, I always feel the guest's eyes burning into my ear. Like, dude, when's my part? And sometimes we take 20 minutes, and that's not nearly long enough to know where your head's
to
at.
unload our weeks with
And
each
we
other.
have a lot to unpack physically, as is represented in your shop here, Warren. And we have a lot to unpack.
I left that on
mentally.
the middle of the floor just so you guys can appreciate
I
it.
loved that big pile of red mud that was right outside the front door when I came in.
That was from the dirt bikes I had loyal. How many grapes do you need to eat before you get diarrhea?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Stand by.
One. If you have greasy fingers.
But before we jump into Sturgis, by the way, and if you're listening to this, make sure that you share and comment, hit the bell. Before we even get into Sturgis, ladies and gentlemen over here, are there any gentlemen here? It's
Okay,
hard to
good.
see. But let's talk about our summer just real quick. I want to put things in perspective. I want to put things in a timeline because my brain is very jumbled. We've been in and out of hotels and taxis, living much like Ted Nugent of 1973 to 1978. Our summer started
living that motorcycle life.
Our summer started with the Milwaukee Biker Fest.
Yes.
Yes. Then we slipped right away into the Harley 120th.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a bunch of stuff in between that too.
The proc ride.
We did a proc ride. Let's pause there for a second. This is an arrogant question to ask, but what did you learn about me after meeting my family?
Why you are the way you are.
Okay. Well, can you just zoom in just a little bit?
I don't know if I talked about this on another podcast, but I wandered off from the bar. It was getting close to bar time. We went into another bar. There was dancing happening, and I was like, this is not my jam. So I wandered through Calumet, walked back to your parents' house. And when I got back there, Pancho,
my dad,
had put the overhead door up on the garage, set up a big white screen, and was playing Shakira live videos with the best sound system I have ever heard.
Was he by himself or was the whole crew there?
Nope, by himself. And he was drinking a beer on the patio, and he came home and was like, it's like super stoked. And I cracked a beer and we sat there and watched Shakira with him.
And he tells me Shakira's very talented.
She actually is. I'm here to back up your dad's opinion on that.
I don't know why. I don't know what to say.
I think that's a perfect explanation as to like, there's no descriptors as to why you are the way you are. But if you were to go to Calumet, you come out with a better understanding of like, nothing really makes sense, but it works.
No.
Yeah.
We also ate pasties while we were having this beer late at night, munching on some cold pasties. I remember asking if there was any liquor around, and people were like really puzzled, but then people seemed to have little bottles of Listerine in their purses.
That's what my people drink.
So I was like, okay, they roll different up in Calumet. It rolled deep and hard up there.
I was experiencing this with you. That's what I enjoyed. I wasn't embarrassed by it. I was just exploring. Like this is who I am. Cut me open, and here it is. What do you guys see, right? And I enjoyed sharing that with you. One thing that stuck with me was my mom told you guys that I wanted to become a priest.
Yes.
And I thought about this. I think that I kind of am. Is that an error? Is that again? I feel like I need to be pastoral.
I would put you more as a shepherd.
Okay. Just being a teacher and kind of trying to calm people and steer them.
But that was bullshit. She was fabricating.
With my mom, everything's half false, half true. Did I want to become a priest?
True.
It's mostly it's right down the middle there. It's kind of true.
There's a nugget of truth.
Yeah, it's a nugget of truth. And I think I kind of am. That's what I've learned from seeing that. Like, oh, my mom has a wisdom here, although she was drunk for 4 days.
And we all were.
Well, my mom was on the ropes for 4 days. How the ref is like, there was we got there Friday, and there was like a ref trying to get my mom to stop.
They're doing the count, and all of a sudden she leaps to her feet. And the ref's just like, I don't want to let this go on, but I have to.
Yeah, 8, 9, and she would pop up. Okay, well, yes. But not only that, we had a good time seeing the sights. And I really enjoyed riding with you guys.
It was a beautiful country up there. I was pleasantly surprised and want to go back. I want to go spend some more time at the spa.
It's amazing what it's like when it's not covered in 10 feet of snow. And when I say 10 feet of snow, I'm not exaggerating. When you can actually see the landscape and see like what's underneath all that snow, it's gorgeous up there.
Yeah.
It's really, really beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful when it's blanketed in snow, but...
I've never been up there when it's in the snow. That's the furthest north I've been in the UP.
You talked about staying at my place. You can see it now. You can stay there.
Yep. Yeah,
it's right by the trail.
Is that the northernmost part of the United States?
Oh, I don't think so. I think Maine.
I think
Maine is. Yeah.
But I mean, we were up there.
Oh, we're up there.
You're way up there.
You're in the middle of Lake Superior, literally.
Yeah.
Stuck on an island.
Well, it was good times, and I really appreciate bringing us up there. I had a really, really awesome time.
Yeah, I like the different experiences you gave us, from your parents' house to your aunt and uncle's house to
The copper mines.
Copper mine,
Going
yeah.
swimming in Lake Superior.
Yeah,
Right, it
multiple
was cool.
times.
Going getting pizza at Mount Bohemia.
They're good
Or
people.
could have a spa day.
Yeah, my favorite.
They're good people, and I'm proud of them. And thanks for sharing that with me. Okay, then, and by the way, riding up there was a Stoke building, and it was really exciting to be on a ride like that with you guys. All right, after that, this was a Harley 120th ride to Michigan. I do this bicycle race, the River West 24. That had happened to me. I still haven't unpacked that. And then right into the van, heading out to Sturgis. Warren, how did you get to Sturgis?
The road again with a good crew. Your son being the second year in a row that I rode with him. It was great. Evan joined us, Evan Sen from Fast and Left.
Who is now, can I say this, a patched member of Mama Tried after that ride?
Yeah, he cut his teeth just like your
Yep.
kid did the year before.
Yep.
He just hung out in the back and held on for dear life and came out the other end.
Made it. Was
Doug-
it just the three of you? Or
No, Doug Frazier joined us from my house. And then the infamous Scrapper Dan jumped into the crew this year, who's
Northern
wild
Illinois'
card.
most gregarious scrapper.
We have to do an on-site Scrapper Dan podcast.
Can we get him on here?
On-site, on the boat.
Because I was just going to ask you questions about him, but I thought right away, no, let's have Dumpster Dan. Danger Scrapper?
Dan Scrapper has many nicknames. I believe Dumpster was one of them. Danger, I believe, is another one.
Scrapper Dan.
Yeah, but you can't really explain that, dude.
No, you
No,
can't.
you have to experience.
He is an experience.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that was the first day. So 5 of us out of my house from Milwaukee, and then we ended up in Bass Acres with Kevin Bass for the night, and drug him along to Sturgis as well. So he's an old friend.
He wasn't planning on going, or
No, he was. It was planned. But I haven't really hung out with Teach like that in some years, and it was pretty awesome reconnecting, and we had a great time. It was a good tight crew, and we took our time, and no highways, hit all the byways, and experience the road. That's probably one of my most favorite things to do, is just be out there with no plans.
When I first met you, many times you brought up this theme: the road will provide.
Yeah.
And whenever time you say that, your eyes kind of glass over and you stare into space and you say, "The road will provide."
Yeah, man.
And then we're like, "Okay, Warren, we're over here."
Yeah.
And then you're in your head, you've just transcended into a trip.
Yeah, if I were to be spiritual of any kind, that's where it would land.
Yeah. Were you just the hum of the open road?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole my life is so structured on a daily basis, and to be able to leave like that and point in a direction and not have to, it doesn't matter where we end up, or we have an end goal, but there's no rules. You just kind of go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I fight with. That's my the yin and yang of
Sure.
my life.
You can see that in Danger Dan and Big Meese.
Yeah.
That the not the addiction to that lifestyle, but the conscious change that I'm going to make this my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to be almost a shaman of the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dan does a great job of bringing folks along, and Dan is such a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the road. The way that he goes about things, and the way that he handles himself, and the way that just he is rad to be around. And to go with that dude somewhere would be pretty special. And I hope to do that one day.
I agree with you. I don't think I'm on that level, though. Do you? Do you? I just kept asking him, what do you bring with you on a road trip? And he has a tarp.
Yeah, Dan's.
It's a
If
tarp.
you were to compare extremes, he's definitely on the extreme side of things. But you don't have to do it that way. You can travel somewhat comfortably.
When you ride, Warren, this is the only way I know how to ride. I try to get the best hotel deal days in advance.
No,
not you.
no, but we do stay in hotels. But when you're traveling west like that, and in that part of the country, it's kind of few and far between. So you have to do a little planning if you want to sleep in a bed. So I'll pick out that night. I'll pick out a hotel and I'll shoot for it, because now you can just reserve them without paying for them. So just put a couple of reservations in and point your bike that way and see how it goes. You never know what's going to happen, though.
Well, your last few trips have been fairly smooth.
Yeah, it's been great. The proc ride started a little hairy with Tavis's bike, but it was kind of the way that bike needed to be figured out. It was a problem that was intermittent, and we needed to just figure it out on the road because
Trial by fire.
Yeah, basically. So I didn't realize that was going to happen. He told me that he was having troubles with it, and my old man, said, it'll be fine.
Explain it a little bit.
It had it was an intermittent issue where the bike would just turn off. So it's electrical, some form or fashion. It's tripping the breaker, and so he's blowing through batteries, and I'm like, I'm going over the shit in my head trying to figure out what's going on, and like, we got damn near to Poncho's house, and it gave way. He had an extra battery, so I ended up just pulling the fuses on anything and everything that I could find, just to make sure that it would run. I took all the headlights out, every power. It's an electric light, so it has like a CB and a radio and a lighter, blah, blah, blah. He had an extra battery, so we wired it onto his floorboard, zip tied it in, and then wired that to his voltmeter and put it in his phone holder, and we just watched.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
Yeah,
he just kept that fluke.
Yeah.
Zip tied to his handlebars, and he could just watch it right there. You guys even disconnect the lights and everything.
Lights and everything, because I wasn't sure where it was, and he has an extra new battery, so my mind's like, well, we don't need lights, we just need his ignition to work. So let's let that thing work as long as it can, and if it doesn't screw up. Sorry, Scott. If it doesn't screw up, then it's something that we unplugged, and let's figure out what that was. And we ended up by the end of the trip. He had taken the battery off. He had plugged all his lights back in. The only thing he didn't plug back in was like the lighter, the CB, and the radio. So it's in the dash somewhere. And yeah, that thing has some interesting electronics on it and rewiring jobs. And it's just the bike has like 400,000 miles on it. So it's been through a ringer a few times.
Well, you drove out there with 5 of you, 6 with Bass, leaving from there. And then that story you said about how you rewired that motorcycle on the side of the road. I want to just pause
for a second. That was for the proc ride. That wasn't for Sturgis.
It was for the proc ride, right. But that knowledge you just shared, because when my son rode back, he rode back with Evan and Scrapper Dan. And when I got back, I had just flown in, and my wife gets home from work, and I can see she's mad. What's wrong? What's up? Loyal is driving home with Evan and Scrapper Dan. Where's Warren? He can't be out there without an adult.
Your son was more than capable, and he proved that he was.
He became quite the leader.
Yeah, he was listening and watching the whole time. He didn't realize it until he got thrust into the position of having to be the leader. So he navigated. He figured it all out. We sat at the pool for 45 minutes and talked to him, and like he had a lot of questions about this, that, and the other, and how I do it. And
so you had a meeting where you're like, okay, I'm leaving without you, Loyal. You have to lead the second group.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
I didn't say he had to lead anybody. I just told him, I was like, all right, listen, we had a group text. I'm like, I'm leaving Wednesday. Who's coming with me? And it's just me and Teach. Everybody's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. And then we were sitting there talking about it before we left, I think on Tuesday. And he just started asking questions, and good questions that I was impressed that he was asking. And he was in a group of people that had experience on the road, and I think he soaked it all up and like kind of took the bull by the horns and said, fuck it, I'm leading.
All right.
If I get a chance, I'm doing it. Sorry, Scott.
Scott,
we're gonna make this a PG podcast if it
we're trying.
takes 10 episodes.
We're trying. Scott, how did you get to Sturgis?
We drove together. We took the van.
Yeah, you have a really
and the
nice
merch trailer
4x4 van with big groovy tires.
Yeah, and you and I and the rookie.
Logan.
Yeah.
Logan, why don't you come over here just real quick? Let's we just pick your brain real quick about our ride out to Sturgis. You guys all know Logan, and maybe you don't know Logan, but Logan's the one that makes our action videos.
Check.
Got him.
Good.
Look at this kid.
Stay close.
Don't you just want to squeeze his cheeks?
Get in here.
Definitely makes us look good.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Logan, before we even talk about our ride out to Sturgis, you've been with us for about 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
Sum that up in 3 sentences.
That's one.
That's one. Stay on your toes. and it's not happening until it's happening.
That's it? That's all you got?
I
That's
stole
pretty
one
good.
from you.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Give me one. You only can pick one. One highlight of your time with us. Off the top of your head, first thing pops in there. One powerful experience.
Traveling.
Oh,
Talking to the mic.
Traveling.
traveling where?
Just in general.
How do we travel?
By the loop of your pants. It's I love it. It's accepted.
Okay.
It's kind of how I did things before.
Right, we make
It
plans
was-
that are loose plans, but
Yeah.
and it's I guess he's right. It's not happening till it's happening, but it's always happening.
1/2 hour, two
Half
half
hour.
hour. But no, I like that.
Logan, you rode with us out to Sturgis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about the ride out to Sturgis. What did we do, just real quick?
What was the second year doing it? We took our time because the weather was a little
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
great.
Warren didn't.
so-
You missed the weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
good
was-
job taking your time, being smart
Luckily.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the last day we're like, we don't. Let's just see what happens. And I swear, man, the storm was here and the road went like this. I'm like, wet roads. Like it was damn close. We could have had a horrible day, but it worked out all right.
Mm-hmm. So specifics, Logan, on the ride out there. What do you remember on the ride out to Sturgis in Scott's van?
Lots of stops. I remember that.
Because
Lots of-
everybody had to pee because they're old.
No, not even that.
No,
Just-
that thing sucks gas. And
Like I said, we took our
That
time.
trailer.
We took our time out there, like getting out there, which was nice. I
Yeah.
guess there was no rush, and it's
Did you take the
always-
byways or did you ride the highways?
we took the freeway.
We took the freeway.
Mhm.
I remember every time there'd be like on the highway, cones like navigating you through some construction site. I think Scott went faster with that trailer, or every off ramp was accelerating speed.
Had to do something to break up the monotony.
Well, I want to remind you guys of some things that we did along the way. All right? Do you guys remember having Argentinian food in
I
Sioux
was gonna
Falls,
say-
South
I was-
Dakota?
Yeah,
That's right.
We
Yeah.
found this. Jeremy found this classic. I mean, exceptional. Not even classic. Like every small town has a Argentinian restaurant in the suburbs near the campground, but Sioux Falls does, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, white tablecloth, massive wine inventory inside the place.
Oh, wow.
We were the only people in there. I mean, granted, it was 9 o'clock at night. I think the
What
know,
is
senior citizen-
Argentinian food? What's the meat?
No, I wasn't there. Chando was
Meat
there,
and
and he
wine.
tells me
No,
about it.
Chando. the mystic Chando.
I don't know.
Sangria.
Last thing I remember is having a few sangrias.
Sangrias.
Sangrias and what, white wine.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, headache.
So what was your question, though? It was meat?
What is-
Empanadas?
Okay.
I think, I don't know if this is Argentinian, but you had a giant chicken fried steak. Apparently that's Argentinian.
Well, it's
Without gravy.
when you're in South Dakota, you get
That's
like
what it is.
just a different spice.
Yeah.
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 But no, we stayed at a KOA, a nice campground. We specifically picked it with a pool because at that time in the day it was hot. And we found a nice pool. And
I was
went
wondering where you
driving.
guys, what pool you guys were at.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing.
Really
I
nice.
picked a city pool in the middle of nowhere to do it on the way.
Oh, like an actual county pool?
Uh-huh.
How
Yeah.
do you find a county pool in the middle of
Internet,
Hmm.
Google.
nowhere? They got Google out there?
I just said I looked because when I travel I always look for green spots or water when I'm on the byways so that we just kind of because we know it'll be pretty or there'll be
Gravitate.
water.
Yeah.
And I found one that had like it was like surrounded by water. I just typed in swimming and it
Hmm.
picked up the pool. We hung out with the kids from Sandlot. Did flip contests. It's cool.
Nice.
Well, we got to Sturgis, and it was miserable. For those of you that were there or didn't know about it, Wednesday, was it what day?
Saturday.
Saturday. So we left
Well,
Wednesday.
We pulled in on Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday was all right, but Saturday was horrible.
Friday there was some stoke still.
Yeah.
There was like some excitement that the grass was wet, and some stoke that we were these Lord of the Flies kind of a situation.
Well, wasn't it like that was supposed to be it? Like that was it, the rain was gone. We made it. You know, and now it's going to be epic.
Yes, that's we
Wah,
fooled ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday was cold and rainy, And we had tried to pick up morale with our crew, and we had schedules set, but just sitting in that cold rain, it broke me.
Yeah. It
You
takes
said
the
to
life
me,
out of the crew.
you said to me, drink this coffee, or I'm going to beat you over the head with it.
You were
remember that.
you were beyond despondent. You defined despondent at the time.
I don't quite know
There
what
was-
that means, but
There was no you didn't have
Duh.
words or facial expressions. You just had this glazed look outside the front of the window, and I was like, Jeremy,
really?
yeah.
Well, I had
Too many
slept in a
gummies.
tent, and I thought that the tent, I thought all tents were waterproof. Did you know this, that they're not? Did you know?
Did you know that we had a
Not when they're
whole
laying flat.
we had a whole cabin that nobody slept in that first
I
night?
know, but I thought I wanted to be like, oh, I got a nice tent. I can do this, but my tent was not
No
waterproof.
one slept in that tent.
Nobody
in that
slept
cabin,
in that
because
cabin.
everyone was
Yes.
trying to be accommodating for the
Yeah.
people that were sleeping
Yeah.
in
Testament
it.
to our
Or
crew.
we didn't let them know that they had a spot to sleep in. It was probably
Hmm.
it's probably 50-50 split there.
That's weird. Was there alcohol involved
yeah.
in decisions like that?
Where'd you sleep?
The first night, a tent,
Oh,
and then
did you have a waterproof
It
tent?
was in his
I s-
own tent that I
with
shared
Lauren.
with him.
I slept in my underwear, laid on a towel and a vest, and had a little blanket.
And snored like a freight train.
Who
No,
you
that
were?
was
You?
This one.
That was,
And he's
that was tent
damn near
over.
dead to the world. Like
How did you
I
check
had to
out?
grab his ankle and just whip it to get him to do anything, and he wouldn't.
Did it work?
It worked for 20
He
minutes.
sleeps deeper than anyone. Just basically this close to death. Like there's Logan's sleep, and then there's like the next world. He's right there on that line.
Yeah, I woke up to Evan screaming at, "Shut up, up!" And he didn't know what he was screaming at. And I woke up. I'm like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's Logan." And then he added Logan into that phrase. And then I had to be the guy that would wake up every 5 minutes and shake him awake.
Just drag me outside. Honestly.
You're too young to snore, Logan. You should get that checked out.
Remember that
So
time that
too.
we were getting on that flight? We were in Tokyo airport during the
Yeah.
pandemic, and we were getting on that flight to Indonesia, and he would not wake up. And they were like, "Last call, you must board the plane." And we were just like, "Logan!"
Yes.
I woke
No.
up having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like,
And you sprung to your feet like, "Are we in Dallas?" No idea. I loved it. It was like, "Grab your shit, let's go." You had no idea.
Come
what was
on, man.
happening.
We're doing a PG rated
Oh.
P thing here.
we played
I remember
like-
actually I slept with Logan in Sioux Falls in the hotel, and he was spooning with me, and that's fine. That'll happen on a crew this size.
Didn't you spoon
You're
with Evan too?
comforting.
Yeah.
You're
Or somebody
comforting.
else?
He spooned with me, and he said,
Probably along
"Who
the
is?
way."
Who are you?" Like in the calmest way. Who are you? Like he's still
I
trying to
said
be
that
sexy.
Before I woke up, and I heard myself say it. I grabbed him like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And you go, "It's me," and I go, "Oh."
Like, it's a relief, but that's also frightening at the same time.
How did I get here? Are we in Dallas?
Well, that's a testament to the trust you put in us. If I could spin it positively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through our Sturgis timeline, we I don't remember Friday night. Was there music Friday night?
I'd like
there was
I'd like to talk
ZZ
about.
Top
I'd
or
like to talk
something.
about Friday night.
Yeah, tell me.
We went to a rodeo.
Forgot about that.
We went to a
We
no,
went to a
maybe not.
rodeo.
No, it
That's
was that
Thursday
Thursday
night,
night
'cause
in,
we-
in Wall.
Thursday.
It was Thursday
We
night.
went to a rodeo Thursday night in Wall, and
Yeah.
that's where you grabbed him and asked him who he was.
Let me just define that, Scott. I want to know a little bit more about this rodeo of which I was at. But the word rodeo, you assume it's bull riding.
Right.
But what made this so special? It was a rodeo from probably 4 to 17-year-olds. It would have been like an Astalan race or like a dirt track race or a motocross event. Does this make
Yeah.
sense? An amateur
Yeah.
level, introductory level event. It wasn't just cowboys on bulls. I thought it to be maybe in many ways many more powerful, more romantic, more iconic, seeing these little kids, 5, 6 years old, handle these full-size horses.
Yeah, ripping across an arena to rope a cat or a goat. Right? Or
A
like
goat that was tied to a stick, but it was still
Poor
impressive.
goat. They would just manhandle.
I know.
that thing.
Remember the thing
That
at
goat
the,
was
by the
this
thing at the
tall.
end? It would just like instead of like when someone would get off the horse to come over and like flip it over, it would just fall over.
Like
Like,
just drop. Like,
it's like, I know what's gonna about to happen.
do it. And they would still pick them up
And then flip 'em over.
Yeah, so that's a tradition. Apparently, the week of Sturgis is a week-long tournament in Wall, South Dakota for the youth, and that Thursday night was the end of that tournament.
Oh,
it was
man.
the, it was
That's
the
good to know.
final, like the final showing of what they had competed and learned all week long during this youth rodeo.
We had a rancher. She was sitting next to us in the grandstands, and she was giving us the run. It was great because she was giving us the play-by-play of who's who, what the events were, what the rules were, and that was so much fun. And then she ran out of whiskey.
Oh, she was drinking?
I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And then
kept shaking her
she
cup.
left.
Yeah, then she left. But we got to take a picture with her niece.
Left your kid there.
There's a
and
photo.
everything.
I
Yeah,
got a
there's a
photo on my
photo.
phone of you and Matt Stout
Yeah.
with her niece on a horse.
Yes. Well, thanks for reminding me of that, Scott. But do you remember Friday was the question.
Does anyone
we
remember?
I
Friday?
remember Friday.
What do you remember about Friday of Sturgis?
We ended up.
We stayed on site, right? We went to
Yeah, we went to the bar at Full Throttle.
I saw you riding through,
Yeah, we went-
covered in mud.
Yep.
It's the first
Had you had
time
just
I've
gotten there at that time?
No, we'd been there. We closed the bar down, of course, and ended up at the. Is it? There was an argument about this, whether it was Joan Jett or
It's
Pat
Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar, and it was Pat Benatar. We had to ride our choppers to Pat Benatar. There was like 12 people there.
It was a Pat Benatar cover band.
Uh huh.
Tribute band.
Tribute.
But that was Friday night?
Yeah, that was Friday.
Okay. Well, why were you covered in mud when we had just gotten there?
The campsite was a mess. Right, I had to wait until like noon to have my first beer because at 10 it felt wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
When did those parameters stop you? In other situations.
Well, because on the road, like I tend to overindulge, Scott, and I was trying to be an adult.
Oh, okay.
On the Friday of Sturgis. Okay.
On the first day.
Well, it wasn't that it was the fact that it was 10 a.m.
Yeah.
and I was contemplating drinking because there was nothing else to do, and that's not a good.
Let's compare that to Tuesday, Warren.
Did the same rules apply? Is what you're asking?
No, at that point.
Let me ask you this. So when we're at Full Throttle, we are hosted at Full Throttle. They host us. Is that
Yes.
fair to say?
Full
They
Throttle
host us
Saloon.
for more than anything, if nothing else, for our energy and the stoke that we bring.
Yeah.
You're riding your
Really?
motorcycle.
That's why they segregate us way off in the corner where no one can approach or be approached.
They
by us
do
and
let
our
us
team.
ride our motorcycles into the bar and
What
be
is
idiots.
that? Is that normal? Like, why is no one else riding their motorcycles through the bar of Full Throttle?
Because they don't allow it, I guess. I don't know, or people just don't do it because they don't want to. But I think it's fun.
It's super fun. Well, also you guys you have cool choppers.
Yeah,
You
that was
guys
a
have
benefit.
Classic choppers. There's not a ton of that at the Full Throttle.
Yeah, I was thinking I was bringing props, but ended up riding those things all over the damn place. I put Teach on one of them, Dan on another one, and got to shake those bikes down, which is cool. And it was just filthy muddy. You got no fenders, and
That's what I was looking for. But I want to clarify. Props, meaning you brought them as fake, like as just show bikes.
Yeah.
You ended up riding them.
Yeah.
Not props. You didn't bring them for respect.
No, I mean I can only ride one bike at a time, and I wanted to bring extra ones in case we needed some fluff for a bike show or a pool party or something to put in front of the merch booth to take pictures with. I don't know, just. And an unexpected benefit of that was getting to ride choppers through Sturgis with my buddies.
Let me pause with a comment that I wanted to say about you, Warren. About that, you're talking about the props. Now, not respect, but I do want to say that I found this out about you, that you're really well respected.
Thanks.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think
That's not a compliment. I'm not telling you that. I'm saying that the world is telling you that. I just heard it.
Well, you don't respect me?
No, of course I do. I'm not saying this is my opinion. I'm saying that objectively, the culture, the chopper culture respects you, and in Sturgis, you are a men among boys. Now, there are a lot of great chopper builders out there, but you are highly respected. I'm not saying the most respected, but you are highly respected.
Well, what people don't understand, maybe know about Sturgis is that it's a smaller community than Milwaukee is, say. Like basically everybody the same goes to those events. You see the same bikes, the same people, the same builders. So it's a big family. I had a good run. I was going for 4 or 5 years, and now I'm back for 2, and not only Sturgis did I do Sturgis with those folks, but we did a lot of other stuff when I was younger. So there's a lot of peers and a lot of mentors out there that I cut my teeth with. And
You started going there a long time ago.
Yeah. When I was, I don't know, I was pretty young. I think I just met Stacy, because I met Stacy in Sturgis. Yeah, that's right. We've been together for 17 years.
And you met her
In Sturgis, in her
Sturgis.
underpanties.
even though she's from Milwaukee.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a mutual friend that I got lucky meeting, Colleen Swartz and John Persitza and Dave Cook, and they were all doing the Sturgis thing. So I jumped on with them for that first year. And they showed me the ropes, and then, that was kind of in the midst of me trying to grow JR Cycle Products, and got involved with the Limp Nicky lot, and it was just a great group of people that we found ourselves in and surrounded by, and those folks are still there, and maybe that's why you felt that some respect or notoriety, because they're basically my buddies and friends, and it's a small niche community that pops up there every year.
Mm-hmm. But so what was seeing how respected you are? I'm going to get a little philosophical here, a little bit transcendent.
Going deep.
I'll use vocabulary. We all have a stigma. Is that the right word? A stigma. When you close your eyes and you think of what an eraser is, you close your eyes and you have a picture of an eraser, right? When you think of Sturgis and you close your eyes, there is a general stigma that everybody has, which is actually, it's not wrong. But the point is, when you zoom in, what Sturgis is something very different to individuals. Mm-hmm. And what Sturgis is to you, Warren, is not what it is to me. And that's not good or bad. I've got many positive memories. I can just have a sense of how powerfully different Sturgis is to someone like you, a chopper builder, someone with a community that's already there. I'm there because of the racing community, which is dying and far in between. It doesn't mean what it means to me. And I think it means something different to you too, Scott, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm new to it, so I'm still just going there with open eyes. This is my second year, so.
But I appreciate the power that it means to you, Warren.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I came up, I was chasing Jesse James and Indian Larry and all those boys around Daytona and Sturgis, and going to where all they're going, trying to do everything that they're doing, because I was mimicking what they were doing, and now I have kind of came into that role where I can go do all those things. There's not a bunch of people chasing me around like those folks, but the people that are there are still looking for that energy. So when I get to ride my chopper into, say, Full Throttle, or like, well, we ride into everywhere. You go downtown and find the back door and ride right into the middle of every single bar, and you'll be welcomed with open arms, because you're on a motorcycle that people want to see or whatever. It's a special thing. It's powerful, and I enjoy doing it. And to do with my friends and in that form of fashion is magical. It's you get to ride out there and experience that. Then you get there and you get off your bagger and jump on your chopper, and then have those experiences with buddies is really special to me.
Mm-hmm. I knew that you were respected. I mean, of course I knew this, but I really knew it when I was in Sturgis. And some fairly famous names that I've heard, and I'm not trying to name drop, would say, "Oh, you're with Mama Tried Flat Out Friday," and they'd come up to me, shake my hand, and they'd say, "Where's Warren?" Where's Warren? There wasn't any interest in anything I had to say. I also don't know the nomenclature, the deep nomenclature of an original Ironhead. That's lost on me.
Yeah. I mean, it's lost on a lot of people. It's not really about, if it's an Ironhead or a Knucklehead or whatever. It's about the bike itself is so different than what you're used to. Like Sturgis is a place that people go to get away from real life. So, I would say it's kind of like a cosplay situation where everybody's like somebody that they want to be, or somebody that they looked up to. They want to be that person for a week. And it don't matter, where they came from, who they are, who they're hanging out with. That's what's going to happen. That's what they're going to do. And a lot of times it has to do with, hanging out with chopper folks and having a good time and trying to live like that rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, you lived it. You're
I
living
tried.
it. Bold statement, you're living it.
Nah, man, it's sure, but not to the extent that, those other boys have. I'm a family man. So I got to mind my P's and Q's. I got to go answer the wife when I get home. A lot of pictures post up on the internet, and I got to explain myself.
I think I know what you mean. Hey, let's
Whose
get
titties are these?
It's promotion, baby. I learned my lesson in Mexico that I had to, if I was going to have a naked lady pose on my bike, this is really the only rule that Stacy has imposed on me when it comes to my motorcycle, that I have to ask permission for that. If she's going to be naked on the back of my motorcycle, I have to call her first.
And what's her decide if it's what does she decide if it's a yes or
She
no?
just wants the respect from me saying, hey, babe, there might be a picture of basically her motorcycle, because she rules the back of that thing, that she wants me to show her respect and get her permission.
Got it. That's the
or her
queen
blessing.
seat, and
Yeah.
then not everybody can sit in there. I need to be
Yeah.
respected. I get that. I really regret that.
How many of those calls have you had to make?
Well, I should have made the first
question,
one,
Logan.
which fucked me up. And sorry, Scott. And
Don't
and
apologize to me. Apologize to the
Sorry,
Apologize to the
listeners.
listeners that
Sorry,
won't hear
YouTube.
us because we're
sorry that
flagged.
you heard a weird, awkward fart noise when I swore.
It's only 6.
Thanks, Brian.
It's only 6. We're doing really good.
You got a clicker over there every time we cuss.
I got him.
Where were we at?
Should we finish this timeline?
We need to. I
We
feel
got a
like
little-
we need to get Brian's take on Sturgis.
We got a little.
too.
We got a little philosophical tangent. Well, hang on before you go, Logan, because we're going to finish our timeline. But before you go, because I know you have lots of stuff to do, lots of video to edit, and you have tons of content following us around for 3 years. What's your take on Sturgis? And you know nothing about Sturgis. I mean, I'm not disrespecting you.
Oh, yeah.
But
Every
but
year's-
what it means to Warren is certainly not what it means to you.
Definitely.
You have a place in it. This is not your first time there. I know you had a good time. But summarize Sturgis for us, through your eyes.
Well, starting last year, it was really, I don't know, the group that we had was a lot of old friends and new. And the fact that everyone can gather at 9 a.m. to have a meeting was super impressive, and not like I needed it, but reassuring that this is a really good spot to be in, good group to have, good people to have.
Why does having a meeting mean it's a good group?
It's just like people that come out that maybe we don't know a ton, or I don't know a ton, and just seeing them drop everything and grab a banner and go hang it up just because I want to be there and help.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool to see. Nashville, we met Nashville out there last year.
Mm-hmm.
He hung out with us for a couple days, didn't know anybody.
Jordan Smucker.
And now he lives in Milwaukee, so that was cool.
Yep.
A small example, but yeah, this year was a lot of fun.
Yes.
We had a lot of rain, so we were tested of what we were going to do with it, and I think we did it well.
Did.
It was a blast. It's like Disneyland for bikers.
Mm-hmm. I want to say I was really impressed with you, Logan. You were always ready to
Really?
pitch in. Yeah, not only with videos,
Yeah.
but just all the shit that needed to get done. You're always in a good mood. And there's a highlight of you going down that cart. I don't know if anybody saw it. I don't know if the video ever came out of Logan going down the hill.
The hill.
Which one did you ride?
On one of the.
The black
The
one.
black
The one that was
Escalade?
destroyed?
boxy one. Oh yeah, it had no seat, and there was a beer that I was bringing down to Brian, and every bump, you best believe my tailbone felt that.
Oof.
And then I look at the beer, half of it is on my pants, but I made it down.
Yeah.
So I
You
took
made it
upon
down.
myself.
You
The
made it
only
down.
one that made it
You're
down.
the
Yes.
only one who made it down. That's
Only one-
right.
After
Yeah.
the first couple people going down, I don't think anyone else wanted to try.
That's exactly what it was. We saw the
Yeah.
first two go down, and they were flying, and then hit a bit of a tumble.
Yeah.
You rode it out. He rode it out
Back
with a
still
with a
feeling that
huge
one.
smile on your face, and it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you were going 35 miles an hour.
Good skills. Add
Give or
that to your
take.
add that to your
Add-
resume of
add it
skills.
to the resume.
Yeah, because what like the social media team motorcycle riding, like D- at this point.
It was good.
What do you
Social media team motorcycle riding
Motorcycle
D-.
skills. Yeah.
D minus.
D-.
Until that point, you're saying?
Well,
Evan,
Evan brought up the.
I'm sorry you get lumped into that, but Evan and Logan are bringing you down.
I did a boonie race.
That's true.
This is true.
First 30 minutes getting into Sturgis while it was raining, I hit the velodrome track.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you don't got nothing to
Props.
prove to us, Logan. You did a
All
great
right.
job.
You just went to a C+.
All right, let's.
Take it.
Well, thanks for
C's
coming,
good
Logan. We're
degrees.
going to bring in another guest. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Logan.
All right. Thanks, Logan.
our social media champion. Well, while Brian's getting set, can we just finish? Let's finish our timeline real quick. Saturday we sat and felt sorry for ourselves, or that's what I did anyway.
Well, let's bring Brian in because I feel like
Oh.
we always forget things, and Brian's always like, "No, here's what happened."
Here's what actually happened.
Yeah,
All right.
Brian's got a good memory,
Oof.
and even if
Very
he's not
generous.
sober, I feel like he's a good recorder of like what goes on.
I did a lot of on my phone this time, which was very good. Which I was a lot better about it this time.
Everyone, this is Brian Redman from Geared Science. If to all the viewers
Hi.
out there,
Hi.
The first night I think we were there, I was like, Warren, can I take the panhead back from Dan? You're like, I'm not gonna do that to him. And I'm like, all right. And then Dan's like, you can hop on though.
Did you go? Did you get on?
Oh yeah, I have a video, first person video. And we get stuck in the mud.
I couldn't pull that bike from him.
Wait, I don't understand. You gotta give me a little more context.
Oh, the first night we were at the bar that I was at the bar.
okay. So Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah,
Mhm.
which was rainy and shitty, and the campground was more of a mess
Mhm.
than I would have liked it to be. But
Mhm.
then Dan had rode the panhead down, and then I was like, "Oh, can I ride it back?" He's like, "I'm not gonna take it from him. That's his bike." I'm like, "All right, great." So then Dan was like, "But you can hop on." So I'm on the back. I'm like, "All right, great." So I'm on the back of this bike with Dan, Scrapper Dan, and the whole time we wound up like falling in the mud, going around that one,
Yeah,
the last corner.
That corner was gnarly.
Yeah, I think that got a couple people.
yeah.
A few of us.
We got a lot of people. Every
Oh, yeah.
time I remember watching, was it Evan that took off on Jeremy Sportster?
Oh yeah.
And we were all like, not going to happen. Here it goes. Who's recording this is because it's going to happen.
He had Blob on the back of it.
That's right. That's right.
And he was just around the trailer, so I missed it.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think I rode back with Matt Stout and Katie on his FXR, and we all wiped out in that corner too, coming back from the bar.
Just sidebar though about Evan. He gets the award for most loops on a booty
Oh, I
bike.
think
Yeah.
he's got a new nickname.
Yeah.
Hence
and,
your social media team's D- for
Yeah.
motorcycle riding.
and what I mean by that was when you start those stout bikes, it's first of all it's a pull start and the throttle being on the right side. You have to give it a little bit to get it running. And if you go just a little too much, it goes.
Yeah.
And it got him once, and he dusted himself off, and then it got him again.
For those of you that weren't there, I'm not exaggerating. You ever seen Charlie Brown kick the football?
Yeah.
And Patsy,
Completely
Patty?
missed.
Pat-
He was
Lucy.
he was on the mini bike, his feet on the pegs like this
No.
from a dead stop.
I have a better analogy. Has anyone seen the Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell album
Yeah.
cover?
Yeah.
That was Evan twice in a row.
On a mini bike.
Yeah.
Didn't
Starting
one
it.
of the times landed on your new bike, Scott?
I launched it right into my ST.
I
Minimal
believe
damage.
he did that multiple days because I heard something about hitting. Did it hit Liv in the race?
Yeah. Liv got it. She was fine though.
Everyone's
Yeah,
fine.
you're gonna get a flying boonie bike every once in a while
Yeah.
on a crew with a
You're
crew
gonna
this
get that.
size.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get that on these bigger jobs.
Was it? It was your first time to Sturgis, Brian.
That was my first time to Sturgis. During the event, I've driven through. I've seen the whole, Mount Rushmore thing. I've gone that way a couple of times, but seeing the event.
But
was
yeah,
fun.
Sturgis meaning the event.
Yeah, the Sturgis.
And what are your reviews?
It was a lot more fun than I expected. But
More
I
fun.
think you guys. I mean, maybe it's because we all had a lot of fun together, which was cool. But I kind of I wish I would have ridden more than I did because I was too busy trying to cut things up and put things out and
Which we appreciate.
Yeah, do work, which is fine. But I think next year I'm gonna try to do more stuff. But I did slip out for a little bit, and I rode the giveaway bike over by Buffalo Chip, and I just kind of go out to put gas in it. And then all of a sudden, there's all these Sportster choppers next to me, and I stop at a stoplight. I'm like, oh, those are cool. I look over, and it's Magic Mike, right next to me. So that's just kind of fun, just being out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I guess it's not middle of nowhere because everyone's coming there, but just being there and saying, hey, that's my friend right next to me
Yeah.
randomly.
No,
That was
dude.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Lead Sled crew going somewhere?
Yeah. That was really cool. And then I think my favorite night was when we went to go see Hairball
Yeah.
on accident.
On accident.
Because I was going to go do another boonie bike race or something, and you're like, come on, Brian. And I'm like, where are we going? And you're like, and then Scrapper Dan's like, we're taking baggers. so I
Because so to put a little
Context.
context to it, teaches we kind of go back and forth with each other. He influences me to do certain things, and I influence him to do certain things. And this evening, was it Sunday? I don't know, whatever day it was. Maybe it was Monday. But we had been we're let's say we're deep into our binger at this point, and alcohol started flowing at 10 a.m. And there's a moral dilemma that happens at 5 or 6 p.m. when you have to decide whether you stop drinking because you want to go into town, or you just keep drinking and you roll the dice because Sturgis cops are everywhere. And Teach was like, "Come on, we'll just stop. We'll ride the baggers. It'll be cool. We'll take the dirt road, and we'll just go down because we were trying to go for the Cycle Source industry party. We'll just go there. We'll get some free food. We'll hang out, shake some hands, and leave." And I was suckered into agreeing to it. Grabbed Brian on the way out, so it was me, Teach, Dan, and Brian. It was just us four.
Yeah, on the way there, yeah.
Ended up at the Cycle Source thing, and then didn't realize that it was a Baker Drags night. And so as soon as that happened, Teach jumped out of the crew and ran into the Baker Drags situation, which is freaking gnarly.
Market 7.
So if for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a burnout pit with a tree, like at a drag strip. So you pull, and in the middle of a bar
With a Christmas tree.
Yeah, there's like two stalls basically that you pull a bike into.
In the middle of the bar, which is an open air bar, but there's 300 people around this burnout pit. And 2 people go up, and the first one to run through all their gears while doing a burnout wins. So it's crazy. It's loud. Burt Baker, if anybody knows Burt, he is a freaking wild man.
The life of that event.
He's a lot. And so then Teach jumps out there and he's in the burnout pit holding bikes. I'm like, here goes our night. Then it turns into the concrete cowboys doing burnouts in the middle of the, like, people having to jump out of the way because they're doing burnout donuts. Teach snuck us into Hairball VIP, then free drinks, blah, blah, blah. Sturgis.
Got it.
Yeah, so we got up to the
Cool. You guys Ubered home from there.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Ubered home.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yep. But we get down there. Well, first of all, he's like, "Come on, let's go." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So we go, and then we like turned around. I'm like, "Oh, we must have forgot something." And he's like, "No, we're gonna hit this dirt road." I'm like, "What's this driveway we're going down? I've never seen this. It's a red dirt road." And then we're going like, and I'm trying to like be nice on that bike, and I don't want to like go too fast on it. They're like way ahead of me. Like, all right, I'll just gradually gain speed on this thing because I don't want, it's got 100 miles on it. I'm not trying to like.
Yeah, we got to break it in for the new winter.
Well, first of all, it needs to have at least 500 miles on it just to get the first service, because who wants to take it for the first? You want to ride it.
Who wants a not serviced
Yeah, that's what I'm
raffle
saying.
bike?
We have to. So we go down that, and then I was like, we're not sure where we're going, and then I realized that that's a 55-mile-an-hour road. I'm going like 45. You guys are going like 60, and I'm trying to I'll catch up. I don't want to blow this motor up. And then I'm like, oh, it's 55. Well, I guess we'll find all 6 gears. First of all, I'm not used to a 6-speed bike, so I'm like, I'm in 5th. I'm like, this is fantastic, and I'm like, oh, there's another one. How fun! Get one. Everyone should buy one. So we get there, and when we come in on that dirt road behind Sturgis, though, when it's like below you, I was like, this is the coolest shit.
Yeah, it's rad. That's a great road. Have you guys been on that one?
In a car.
Yeah.
You taught me in the first year we went out there.
Yeah.
That was
Great
really
way
cool.
in and out.
Yeah.
Especially when big years when you like there's gridlock down that main drag.
And then we get it. Well, you left out the part where Teach got us into the VIP balcony for Hairball, and then we got kind of bored up there. And I was like, I figured out a way.
Bored.
Oh, we got bored. We were bored. We're all right. Hold on. Let me tell the story.
When you got Dan and Teach,
I riled everybody up. Okay. So I figured out how to get to right in front of the stage. There's a second area if you like went down a back stairway, which I realized we could have done for Clutch. I didn't realize that. Which, by the way, went and saw Clutch. I have some great mosh pit footage of Jeremy.
Few of those.
Yeah. But anyway, we got to see Hairball from the, which surprisingly good show. Good for them.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. They really commit.
Dan was throwing joints at the lead guy. At the end, he picked him up and came down, took pictures with us.
Yeah. He was really stoked.
Nice.
We ate burritos and then rode off into the sunset.
Yeah. But to your point though, like the whole different circles. I walked down downtown Sturgis for like that main strip a little bit, but like it's crazy how like all the chopper circles and like the different places to be. There's weird little pockets that you can kind of find yourself in, and I knew everybody at all the like chopper ones. Like Milwaukee Mike was there, and like it just felt very comforting.
Yeah.
More so than I expected.
Yeah, it's like this traveling circus of
Yeah.
little events that you just keep bouncing around to, and
Yeah.
basically, I mean, it really is the same people showing up to each
Right.
one. So if you go to Sturgis and you have a good friend group and you're in the know, like it's a great place to hang out and have a
Yeah.
good time on a motorcycle. It's really fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Super good.
So let me. There's something that we mixed that I thought was important. That was Sasha's. We had a little party at Sasha's
yeah.
this Saturday
was
night.
Great. Sasha's was such a stoke builder for the crew,
Mhm.
for all of us. For
Well,
me
because it was
too.
that cold and rainy Saturday, and we went to Sasha's, and there's a life there.
And all of a sudden it dried out.
Mm-hmm.
The sun didn't come out, but at least it was clear skies, and the vibe was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
When you pull up to Sasha's, you see that his sign out front and that bike that he has just like disintegrating in front of his shop, and then
Yeah.
there's an El Camino with a bed full of bush light.
Mm-hmm.
Good vibe.
Yeah,
And then there's a guy
awesome.
next to it, like, you want some jambalaya? How much is it? Like, jambalaya. That was everything everyone needed, I think, on that
Yeah.
night, especially
That
because that day
ruled.
sucked.
I'm going to go a little further. I think that's exactly what Sturgis needed is Sasha's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? He's-
Exactly. Sasha's keeps Sturgis from going off the rails, right? It's like it's the melty, gooey center of what motorcycling is in
Mhm.
its deep down essence, I think. Just like how homey and original and old school and, like Sasha's keeping that vibe.
Well,
alive.
and sincere.
Yep, exactly. That's what I mean. Like in the best way. Like you go to Sasha's and it's like,
Mm-hmm. He's
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
big warm
It's
hug
like
for
there's
you.
there's this charisma, there's this magnetism of that place. As soon as you get there, it's just so apparent.
Mhm.
And you get there and all your friends are there, and
Mm-hmm.
all the people that are going to be in Sturgis, and for one night everyone's all in the same spot.
I rode down there with Matt Stout and Katie, and we get out of the van and I'm like, hi, I'm Brian. I'm shooting with Mama Charlie. He's like, hey man. It seemed like we've known each other forever. He's like, he greeted everyone as if he'd been their long lost best friend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I missed those parties the last 2 years.
It was a good vibe.
Yeah, super great.
I'd highly recommend Sasha's in Sturgis. So there's a couple other events though too we forgot to mention. How was the ride-in party? I didn't make your ride-in show. Sorry, the Mama Tried ride-in show. With some
Great.
highlights.
Great.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah, it was. I mean, people showed up, which is a plus. Being new to
A lot of
the
people showed up.
yeah, being new to the scene and being second year event, it's you never know. But we had a great turnout. It was, very well.
Of all of the chopper shows that are out there, why is Mama Tried's show different, or what's the what I mean? Compare it. Pretend I know nothing.
Like that's.
I don't know if I can answer that.
Because were there
Yeah.
bikes there that were not at other shows?
I did see some that were not at other shows, but there's also a good grip of them that were at all the other shows. Because like I said, it's a circuit.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's
It appeals to a certain kind of person.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think that those people, they all came out, and that was really great.
Yeah,
It
the
felt-
vibe was really
felt
nice,
really
and
good.
it felt like how it should be for how we would want it in
Mhm.
Sturgis.
Mhm.
We had a hill climb still on that Sunday morning
Yeah.
after the skies had parted. We did a little hill climb. Didn't have the participants per se. I think that we didn't have a lot of the numbers. We still had some great riders that showed up, and I think it was challenging yet and entertaining. You were there, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Give me some more adjectives.
Getting there was the challenging part in the morning because that road was pretty wet. But then
Yeah.
once it dried out, then people were getting back and forth. I just loved how everyone was just like, not one person went up one time and gave up.
Mhm.
Even what's her name? Logan. What was that one girl's name?
Katie?
Maggie.
Oh, Maggie.
She rode. I don't know if this is true or not. She claims it is, but she rode a dirt bike for the first time ever and decided to take it up the hill.
Yeah.
And she looped it at the top, but she did great. But what I'm saying is that everyone that did it just kept coming back for more and more. And the Power Wheels bit was really good. There's a few people that were actually loyal. And who was the other guy? The older guy. The only other guy that
He
was
rode
serious
the-
about dirt bike.
Eric, who was from
The, Pennsylvania?
Idaho, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, him and Loyal were like, at one point I was like, we should do both of them together, and you're like, nah, I don't think he'll be down with that. We're not gonna try. And then he went to Loyal, was like, let's both go. And then they both went up the hill twice.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I think that was one of my favorite things that we did, regardless of however many people
The
did
vibe
it.
was incredible.
It
That
wasn't
was really,
boring.
Really cool.
Mhm.
It was super fun. I could have watched honestly, I could watch Loyal go up that hill all fucking day.
The
I mean,
band, band came out.
Shoot, God, it's too.
The
Yeah,
band.
What was the name of that band?
I don't know.
Oh,
they were
Shakes,
awesome.
Shakers, Shakers,
Shakers.
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 Yeah.
from.
Oh yeah, they sent us. I got
Shaker.
that email today.
Yeah.
Leslie sent. They want to
Shaker.
use one of their songs on our video.
Yeah.
We use one, sure.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. They're kind
In
of
fact, that'll
channeling
be
that
the-
Buck Cherry rock and roll.
The
Yeah.
Ted Nugent lead in.
Yeah.
There we go.
We did one more thing or we did many things, but another highlight was we did a little bagger race, and Scott, you won that bagger race.
I think Loyal let me win that race.
Well, it was great to see. In fact, as a father and as a promoter, it was very nerve-wracking to see you guys take those baggers. You know how a velodrome is, Warren. You know, they would go almost to the tip
Yeah.
and then dive it back down. It was really impressive how fast you guys were going, and then hitting the brakes
Yeah.
and seeing the bags shake.
it was so ruddy too. It was.
We thought it was going to be a shorter race, but you guys loved this.
I wanted to keep going.
Yeah, you wanted to keep going.
I did get an email from the front office about an extra effort award that was supposed to be given out. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Frazier was supposed to get it for his fearless entry of the velodrome.
Getting those baggers onto
Dropping,
the track.
Yeah.
It was like dropping.
He was
into a
terrified.
pit,
Really?
Like skate, like a 10-foot.
Yeah,
Like,
he was terrified, and then he
drop into
he
half-pipe.
just got it.
because
So.
you're on that lip and you're just like.
Yeah, you can't hit the.
Like,
You know, if you
gotta-
hit the brakes, you're gonna.
because it was
Yeah.
so slick
And there was a literal pond
at the bottom.
in the center.
So you had to drop in and then just and then give it gas, but not too much.
Yeah.
Not put it in.
It was
the-
kind of nice that it started
Drank.
drizzling a little bit because that red dirt really just turns into like this thick kind of clay.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But
Greasy
that was
stuff.
one of my, that was my other
was
favorite
great.
thing.
Yeah.
That was awesome, and it was really awesome. The Shakes came out.
Yeah.
Shakes and Paige came out with their new baby. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I think Shakes ruined
Conceived
both
1
of
year
his
prior.
Yeah.
But that's no secret, is it? I just think it's a neat little fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the full throttle shower.
Yeah.
If I can get more
Is that a
specific.
fact?
What?
That's great.
That is the
You
most
know-
private place there, though. I
I think it's
will
the only private
make a
place
test
there.
to that.
I would think in your tent, but however you want to do it.
Well, there's too much noise. You keep cranking your hog, and
Everyone will
I
hear.
mean working on your motorcycle. Hogs, you get it.
Everyone will hear. All right, yeah, and seeing some music. I really enjoyed seeing Clutch. Drowning
That was
Pool
awesome.
was a highlight. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed the Van Halen band, the ZZ Top band. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the entertainment. I enjoyed myself just generally as a whole a lot more. I know, Warren, when we try to party, you and I are different partiers.
Yeah. I don't
When
think we can party together.
When you party, I think you. Well, I'm not actually. I can't say how you like to party. Let me say how I like to party first, and that is I like to drink, and have some other chemicals, a little bit, and I like to be quiet and observe. And at my most party, I like to push people to do dangerous things. Now that's really easy to do in Sturgis. You
Yeah.
don't have to even
Yeah.
try that hard. You like to do dangerous things and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why we don't really party together, but I think we do accent each other. Where I don't even have to, but I think we are thinking like someone needs to jump on their motorcycle and ride naked through this field, and boom, there it is.
Yeah. 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 Pushing buttons.
Yeah, because
Pushing limits.
I like pushing other people buttons. I like trying to be a cheerleader. You should try this.
What was the name of the Van Halen band we had at the?
That was the Atomic
Atomic
Punks.
Punks.
They
Yeah.
played. I watched
Yeah.
them at.
Yeah.
I got to see them in a private show.
Yeah, we
At
watched
Full
them.
Throttle.
Yeah, they played late too. They put bands on that inside stage.
It was really Atomic
Yes.
Punks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Atomic Punks is the other bands, like B Team.
Mhm.
What's the big band?
Oh right.
What's the big band that does that? Steel Panther.
Yeah. Steel
Yeah.
Panther.
Atomic Punks, for the lack of a better description, are the B Team,
Feeder.
the feeder for that. Those guys.
Opener.
Yeah.
Steel Panther has been
The minor
Atomic
league.
Punks.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's a pretty talented band.
That was
Yes.
great. They kick ass. And
Oh, yeah.
there was like 25 people
yeah,
in
I'd
that
say
place.
25. It's weird because that space is deceptively large. Were
Okay.
you there when the guy tried to like watch the band with in the golf cart?
Yeah. Yep. That was that night.
That was okay. So some guy, and I thought it was very funny. He drove his golf cart into the band area, and he wanted to just be front row in his golf cart watching. Good bit. I wanted to see it happen, and this lady got very upset. She's like, "What the f word do you think you're doing?"
Sure.
And I'm like, "He's trying to go there." She's like, "What does he do?" I'm like, "Let's just see what happens. I don't know. This might be good." And she was very upset about it. And then the guy was like, "What?"
I saw a video of Dumpster Dan, Scrappy Dan, Scrapper Dan, Diligent Dan doing a burnout in Full Throttle, and the security yelling at him and him having no idea what he would be doing wrong. You know,
Dan-
he's
With his
got it.
hand
Yeah,
never
and
letting off the
and his
gas,
other hand
shrugging.
is explaining like
Like,
what is
what?
the problem? Why would this not be appropriate?
You want to talk about a guy that knows how to diffuse a situation with security guards? That's
The
your man.
security guard started
Immediately.
smiling.
That is your man.
The video I have of it, you can see if Dan's right here, the security guard comes around back, angry face. He's like, "Hey, don't!" And then within 30 seconds, he's just like, the biggest smile
He's
on his
like,
face.
no, you gotta stop.
Stop! What this? They hugged.
Yeah.
They hugged.
Really?
Yeah,
they
they
hugged.
followed each other on Facebook.
Good bit.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, that's what I love about Sturgis is that it's really an anything goes like kind of thing, and you can let your freak flag fly, and people do. You can be your party self. You can.
Yeah.
Your
alter ego.
Yeah, you can just really let that go, and I feel like it's a unique thing, and I think you know, for all the detractors that Sturgis has, for people who haven't been there, it's just unlike any other thing. There's, you know, you can say like, sure, there's a lot of older people there, and it's a little bit stodgy. It's not like what it used to be. Well, nothing's like it used to be, right? In the early days of it, that's why it's cool. That's why everyone goes there, because it has a great origin story.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can let your hair down and be whoever you want and party your tits off and
Because it
and
like
just-
like Leslie says, it's like the Sturgis Island.
Yeah.
yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's what happens in Sturgis stays in Sturgis.
Yeah,
I
you can
guess.
just you could just let it go, and there's really not much else that's like that with an outdoor party that lasts, you know, 10 days long.
Yeah.
Sure, there's events. Mom Tried's kind of one of them, but it's like that's a different sort of, it's a
Yeah.
different environment completely. This is like you're camping, you're on site, you're riding bikes around in the grass.
Oh yeah.
You know, with a beer in your hand, going to see a Van Halen cover band.
Right.
While ingesting a bunch of other things, and no one's gonna say no, you can't do that. Not one person is gonna say no.
I loved how important riding was to everyone. Like just going out. Like everyone was like, "How far do you ride today?" I did 200 miles today. I did 150, 300, whatever. And that's different, I think, than a lot of other bike events where you just, you know, Daytona or like, you know, even the 120. They're the you know, the homecoming events. You just kind of, you can ride around the city a little bit. That's cool. But like, people are putting out hundreds of miles. Like, you know,
The
really
Black
soaking it.
Hills are
Yeah, beautiful.
epic riding, and the roads are beautiful and
Well
so
maintained.
much to do.
That was one thing.
I think
Well maintained.
what are we doing here though right now? Are we kind of justifying Sturgis? I mean, you know what I mean? Why are we trying to sell it? I'm
selling it.
asking that because I don't.
I'm selling it.
You're selling it to who?
My age group. And
I think that's what needs to be done.
Yeah, well, my thing is, not that I'm super young. I'm in my early 30s, but like I feel like most of my peer group, even when we do chopper stuff, it's like not one. I mean, I went for my first time this year. Not once has it even been on my radar. I was gonna go last year with you guys, but I had something going on. But next year, I'm gonna mark my calendar and keep
Sure.
that week
So next
clear,
year you're planning to go with or without us, for example.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's things that we would like to do differently, and there's things about the whole big thing that
Right.
could be different, right, and could be better. But that said, it's a really incredible event.
Yeah.
That's, you know, where you can really, besides the flipping cops in Sturgis,
Yeah.
which really
Yep.
puts the kibosh
They were
on things. But
aggressive.
Yeah.
Like they pulled people. I heard it was a big deal to put 2 feet down on a stop sign. I didn't realize that was a thing.
yeah,
They just look for anything and everything. They have like a little village. They basically have a cop town because they farm cops from all over the country.
I believe it.
To come in.
Well, I think the philosophy is to choke or throttle the illusion of tight control.
Right.
Because they're so afraid it can get out of control, and I'm guessing they're feeling pressure from the residents of Sturgis that may not be supportive of this, or it's
Money.
or it's
It's
political.
money.
Yeah.
It's purely money.
Money.
I'm
They make
trying to be
so
pro-cop
much
here.
money.
But I think
They
they're
make so much revenue.
their entire economy is based on this one
One
10-day stretch.
Right. Yeah. They're probably the most well-funded police force in the entire country because based on this event.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of, because I know that when I was leaving, I heard this news story that, and they didn't equate the two, but I know that attendance was down anecdotally, and from people who said like who count these things and said like, you know, attendance was down this year because of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
But they wrote more tickets than they ever have this year.
Get out of here.
So
Well,
that's a real.
we didn't
thing.
get any of them.
That's the first.
Yes.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
It's the first time someone didn't
Let's keep that
have to
going.
be come home. We all came home.
Oof.
Well, do you feel that we summarized Sturgis well?
I think so.
Do you think we,
Sing it well.
do you think we philosophically broke it down?
I think so.
I think so.
I think it was an honest description of our times. Yeah.
I think we're still downloading and processing Sturgis, and I feel like stories are going to come up in future episodes, and because we'll remember things.
Sure. It's a little bit like this is a little too strong, but combat, where I was seeing crazy things and I just push it aside because my brain can't even process it. And then here comes another crazy thing, and I don't even want to.
Yeah.
I don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah, when you see enough women just in pasties, it loses the appeal.
Well.
The shock value is gone.
Yeah.
I saw a few on the way out that I was like, should you be doing?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, that's a bit of a cult. Yeah, for me personally, I remember I was walking. A woman showed me her boobs, and I gave her like a what the fuck? Oops,
It's like
sorry.
9 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
what do you want me to do? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. What does she want
Right.
me to do?
Thumbs
Okay,
up.
a thumbs
Logan,
up.
I think Logan kept telling me the first we were there and we were sitting by the pool at full throttle, and like this older lady, just large, mad. she just had little pasties, and I was like just very tired. I hadn't slept it all the day before, and I went to Logan. I'm like, is that boobs?
But that's
That was the first. Then after that, it wore off.
Let your flag fly. Like if you want to be
Go for
topless,
it.
right?
Yeah.
That's the place to do it. You
Party.
want to expose yourself to random men at 9 a.m. Like that's the place to do it.
Yeah,
Let-
or women.
Well, yeah.
As long as your nipples are covered.
Yeah, well, it's
I think they have a strong. Yeah, we talk about anything goes. I just want to
Most
push
things.
back a little bit. There are strong mores of things that can and cannot be done. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Well, in the private campground or in town?
Just
In-
in
just
in
general.
general.
Just in general.
Like
what?
what?
Anything goes. Like so.
Colors?
You would not shoot a
I
gun.
didn't see any
You
colors.
don't do fireworks.
no gun, no
you don't,
fire-
You know
no
what I mean? These
fires.
are strong mores that.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually
ingrained.
because it's so dry. But probably could have got away with it this year.
And
Yeah.
you cover your pasties because I think that stripping there's a line there.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you're kind of caught stripping without approval or a license, you're infringing on the people that are there to do that.
Is
And you're
there
cutting into their tip money.
there is a strip club, right?
Yes,
Okay.
there is one.
Yes.
Does there need to be? Because it's
I'm just
pretty-
wondering. Oh, no, I'm just wondering because like I saw a lot of like teasy shows, like a lot of like even at Full Throttle, there was like poles everywhere, and there was girls
That's
like doing their
burlesque,
thing.
is that
Yeah,
not
yeah,
teasy?
hard to say. I don't know the proper
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Well,
nomenclature.
some of the
Called
camp
bartenders.
goers created
They're
the
dancers.
Titty Alley, so it had bar clothes. Everybody
Titty Alley
hustles
was
over there. And,
disappointing.
yeah. I've never made it there because I can't make it past 2:30. But
Me and Evan tried, and it didn't go so good.
Yeah. More like shitty alley.
Yeah, shitty. Alley.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wait, better
Market.
entertainment is the guy selling stir fries.
oh, I love that guy.
I didn't get to
The
meet
food
him.
Was so good.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You want cat or dog?
Yeah. Get out of the line.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was like a real Ed DeBevic, but Asian.
So
I
great.
loved it.
Good bit.
It was a good bit.
It was really good.
Let's put Sturgis away for a little bit. Put it away because I just want to talk about the future, and I want it to be known. I'm publicly making an announcement that we're just skyrocketing into the future of February.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
From now on, buckle down, everything down. We've got two things. We got a podcast and a show in February.
And a giveaway motorcycle that we
Yes.
sell every ticket.
Okay, now we're
possible
starting
on
to
the
come apart.
planet.
See, that's part. Oh, yeah. We got to do that.
That's
All
part
these
of it.
branches of the road.
That's a big part of the content wheel. But
Brian's gonna make a video in his swimsuit for us.
Really?
Okay.
Can you
That's
wear Jeremy's?
So we have
Oh,
a.
put Jeremy's
Speedo.
mustache in his
Speedo.
glasses.
Yeah.
We have a giveaway bike.
smuggler.
If we follow that along, we're giving away Scott's bike. Did you know this, Scott? I don't know if you knew that or not.
Don't win Scott's bike.
Don't win Scott's bike. We're still going to continue with this podcast, and we have a show in February. We haven't even really announced or put anything out. Flat out Friday is February 23rd. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. Mama Tried's 24th and 5th.
Okay. And we are going to be a efficient machine
Forced to be reckoned with.
and we're going to knock this out. No more. We don't got time for no more Harley 120s.
Nope.
We don't
Wait,
have time for nothing
there
else.
was some talk about going to Moon Eyes. Do you guys remember? Not remember?
I
that?
do.
Ooh,
I do
I
remember
will-
that.
I will go.
Okay. You see what I'm saying here, people? You see what I'm
When is-
saying?
when is
That's a
Moon Eyes?
weekend trip.
Well,
When
we
is
just
Moon
got
Eyes?
home from Sturgis.
it's
Now,
Christmas.
in like
good.
3 days, everyone's gonna be like itchy, scratchy. Like we're gonna go on an international trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll work good for me because I think I'm gonna do a family trip at the end of November, and then it'll give me a month to go.
Wait, it is.
It's Christmas time.
No, it's the first week of December.
You sure?
Yeah.
How sure? I'll go.
I think it's either the 3rd or the 10th.
We're doing a
something
family
like
trip
that.
in October, and then
How long do you need to go to Japan for?
long enough.
Minimum 3 days, 4 days. It's a
5
long
total
trip.
is the shortest, probably, because it's a day of travel each
Okay,
way.
I can do that. I can take 3 days off of work.
See, we're going.
Okay, so
Hear that?
besides Moon
Hear that,
Eyes,
Tige?
besides this raffle bike and this podcast, we have a show to do, and we are steadfast at putting all of our energies into this show.
We can go to the
But
whiskey
we need to do a
bar
podcast in
Tokyo.
Japan.
Ooh, we
That's
should-
my-
we
that's my
def-
career goal.
That would be really cool.
I managed to work with a bunch of different
Let's do
bands that I
that.
almost got to go to Japan. So that's my career
Hey,
goal.
Logan,
Japan.
you ever been to Japan?
A little bit.
Okay.
in an airport
Slept
for an
really
hour.
well, Yeah.
That doesn't count.
All right, Brian, how we doing on time here?
Oh, we're way over, but that's great.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
okay.
good. Yeah.
Well, we got to wrap it up. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Am I forcing it?
Yeah.
No, I think it's good.
Let's wrap it up. Let's hear it for Sturgis 2023. Our guests, and not forget our video contour, Logan. That's right. Okay, right.
Thank
Job,
you,
Logan.
Thank you, Ricky.
And our podcast aficionado
Contour.
here, Brian.
Brian.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks for
Brian.
coming.
Great.
Weird science.
Great job, everybody.